My name's Nate and this is Heavy Pedal Garage. This is a 5.3 Vortec LS motor out of a 2002 Chevy Silverado. In previous videos we got this motor removed from the truck, busted down, and now we're getting ready to clean it up. The end goal in this video is to get it in paint so that we can move on with the reassembly process. Got my wire brush. We're just going to go to town on the non-gasket surface of this block, getting ready to power wash it. So what we're going to do here is use this power washer just to wash off all the grit and grime that's left. You know, preparing this block, cleaning it down as we were disassembling it. There was a lot of scraping and mineral spirits and wire brushing trying to get most of it off. But this power washer is going to finish it, get it down to that bare metal. So there you can see I'm shooting that in those oil galleries, trying to get that blown out the best that we can. And of course I'm going to take a minute here and clean off my engine stand. It got pretty grimy, and well, now I need to untangle myself. Yep, that's not a toilet brush, I swear. But it is pretty handy to try to get into all these little nooks and crannies. Just using some Dawn dish soap and water. Try to cut through the last of that grease and grime that the power washer didn't pick up. So we're going to chase off the dogs here and give it one last rinse down. What you see there in the foreground is what's remaining of the 2002 Chevy Silverado. I've been parting it out, trying to make my money back. Stay with me in this video series and you'll find out at the end if I did make my money back, and maybe even a little profit to put back in the Blazer, which is what this motor is going to go into. So before we get any flash rust, we're going to want to dry this off really good, just using some compressed air, getting down in all the coolant passages and oil passages, trying to get off all that water. So before we get a lot of flash rust, we are going to squirt down these bare metal surfaces with some WD-40. Now what I have here is a little bit of acetone. I'm trying to clean off the surface that's actually going to get painted. Remove that WD-40 overspray and just taking another inspection, making sure we got everything clean. So it's the following weekend. Now that we've got the block cleaned, we're going to go into the fine details here. I want to chase all the threads. I've got my metric tap set here. Don't have any thread cleaners, and these aren't long enough to do the head bolts. So I took my old head bolt. Of course, I bought new ones, and you can see I just used my angle grinder with a thin blade and cut a little groove in there. So now all I'm doing is just chasing each one of these holes, making sure they're clean. Put a little WD-40 down in there. Run them through a couple times and then I'll blow them out with air. Should be good to go on those. So I'm going to go through and do all of these head bolts, and I'll chase each one of these with the correct tap, and then we're going to switch over to the oil galleries.
So I'm basically following this diagram of all the oil gallery passages, trying to clean out as many as I can, the best I can. I have a series of small brushes, but I don't have an actual engine brush kit, and I'm trying to save money. And I need to reach all the way through the block on these two galleries. So what I've come up with is basically some baling wire, some spit, and some bubble gum. Just kidding, only baling wire. But I used my drill and I twisted up some of it to give me a little bit of a rigid deal here. Left a loop at the end. I've got these cleaning pads from Gun Cleaning Kit, and we're just going to go ahead and put those in there, bend that over so they don't come loose, and we'll be able to fish them through. Of course, we're going to blow them out real good too.
So what we've got here is some denatured alcohol. We're going to use this to really drive towards the last few steps for paint. This is going to help take off all the last little bits of grease, my fingerprints, and I'm also going to spray and wipe this on the bare metal surfaces, the gasket surfaces, because we're going to need to tape off those surfaces before we paint, and this is going to be the ticket.
So we're following Uncle Tony's garage method here. If you guys have seen that channel, dude knows his stuff. But what we're going to do now, play with fire. Basically, we're going to use this to cook off any of the oil or moisture that's left on this block so we can put a coat of primer on it. So as you're going through here with this, you can really see it changes colors as you're cooking that off. I'm pretty sure that's what we want. All the plugs in this kit came with some Teflon on there, but I'm going to go ahead for good measures and add a little bit more. This is the largest plug in the kit. It's for the coolant passage, and you're going to need a big 17mm Allen. Harbor Freight, a few bucks, pick this one up. Two oil gallery plugs on this side. These are going to be 8mm, but a 5/16 will work as well. So one there and one over here. So that was the driver's side we're working on. This is the passenger side, just one gallery plug here. All right, so those are all covered up. We don't have to worry about getting paint down in there. Got a quality wax and grease remover. I'm going to go over this metal one more time, and then we'll be ready to put a primer on it. Stick around and I'll show you what that primer is going to be. Got her all plugged up, ready to go. As I mentioned, we are following Uncle Tony's garage method here. We're going to use some Rustoleum, rusty metal primer. Get one good coat on here, and we're going to let it dry overnight. So this is one of the main reasons that I wanted to go with a paint can and brush method versus a rattle can spray paint. I really didn't have to tape everything off, just my edges. I don't have to worry about overspray. I can really get this brush down in the nooks and crannies, and I feel like it's a lot easier to get a thicker, longer lasting coat than it would be with a spray can. So this is where we're at, and it's working out very nice. Well, I'm super excited with how this block painting and cleaning turned out. You guys get into this, or if you've done it before, you'll know there is a tremendous amount of cleaning, scraping, removing grime that goes into getting this far. Just like a paint job on a car, it's all in the prep. I took my time, got this all degreased and cleaned up so that this paint is gonna look great. Stick around. Coming up next, we got a lot of parts to clean. I'm gonna show you how I go through that, storing them until I'm ready to assemble. We're going to be doing cam bearings, and as you can see, I've already started reassembling this block. So I'm really excited to bring you guys along for the ride. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for sticking around, and catch me next time.